Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Steinauer. Today I'm going to talk to you about, are you an adult who just gets so sleepy? When you're reading, you can't stay awake, even if it's a great book. Well, I'm here to talk to you today about how it could be associated with your vision and what we might want to do to correct that. Now, before I go into that, you can contact us at 618-288-1489 if you're local. If you're not local, go to our website at visionforlifeworks.com and you can do one of two things. Either schedule a consultation if you're serious about taking the next step to correcting your vision, or you can also tool around that website, read all kinds of information, look at our success stories, and fill out a questionnaire. Now, let's go talk about that sleepy adult who, after just a few minutes, they are just ready to snooze. Well, I'm going to tell you, this actually was my life growing up. I watched my dad, who is he is blessed to now be 79 years young, and he is young at heart. But he would tell you, he'd be the first person to tell you, he probably would get wrongly diagnosed as ADHD because he struggled to read in school and study and perform in school, and he'd rather been outside riding a bike or going exploring caves or catching frogs or something. But, you know, we found out as an adult, after me watching him growing up as a child, he would sit down to read, he would fall asleep. I see him sitting down to read the Bible, or see him sitting down to read history, which he's a history buff. He loves stuff about wars, he loves history, but he would fall asleep after just a couple of minutes of reading. And, you know, I always noticed his frustration level with that because he had a keen interest to read and learn things, and he has always been an avid learner, but he just wasn't able to stay focused on his reading material for very long without snoozing off. Okay, so now if that's you, we actually found out later on when I became a doctor and I was looking at his visual system that he has a problem called convergence insufficiency. Now, I've talked about this in lots of other videos, but convergence insufficiency is a problem where you have difficulty lining up your two eyes to a target. Now, there's a great little exercise I do in the room whenever I have a patient who comes into my clinic, and especially if it's a child or an adult who's struggling with convergence insufficiency. And maybe for kids, they're anxious and lack of focus and distractible and almost ADHD-like, whereas adults are falling asleep. But it's a great kind of, oh my gosh, this makes sense. So we're going to do it together today. There's two ways that I describe how hard it is in convergence insufficiency for the muscles of your eyes to maintain alignment of the two eyes together, pointing to a topic like reading material so that you can stay focused on it and attentive to it long enough to absorb it. And here's two things that I describe it like. It's almost like going, hiking in the woods with a backpack on your shoulder. And you don't just get like the little, kind of wimpy light backpack with maybe a beef jerky stick in there, but you're the one who's got to carry 80 pounds of crap on your back. It's kind of that thought. That's a lot of stuff to be carrying. And unless you're an avid hiker, you lift weights and you're used to carrying 80 pounds, you're probably going to tire out pretty fast by all that junk on your back. Okay, so trying to maintain alignment of the eyes and converging in is kind of like lifting that heavy backpack all day long. Another great example, kids love this one. There's not going to be a visual because my feet are under the table, but you're going to hear it. And I tell kids, let's pretend that your feet are your eyes, and you're going to stomp your feet up and down. And at the time that you're stomping your feet up and down, just remember, we're kind of using this as an idea, like your eyes are having to converge and cross and work. The muscles are working all day long as you're reading, as you're sitting at your desk, as you're looking back and forth at things. So let's just pretend your feet and legs are like your eyes. Stomp your feet. And stomp your feet, I don't know, for 8 hours, because that's how long you're in a classroom. Or as an adult, stomp your feet for an hour while you're trying to read your book. Just see if you don't get a little tired out and want to kind of stop doing that. Or you don't want to just take that backpack and just chuck it to the ground and fall over. that's how hard it is for our eyes to kind of continue to stay in alignment if we have that condition called convergence insufficiency. So as an adult, if you got sleepy syndrome when you're trying to read, you more likely than not have this condition called convergence insufficiency, such that when you're reading, the eyes have such a hard time trying to stay in alignment with one another that one eye kind of just gives up and is tired. And as that give up zone happens, then one eye is pulling the weight, or as it's so hard, it's just physically so hard, the brain says, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to make you get sleepy, and you fall asleep. So if that's you, there are 2 phases to our treatment program and how to fix and correct this. The first phase, which we talk about really often in here and on all my videos, is syntonics. And this is electrically kind of reprogramming the brain to learn how to line the 2 eyes up better together as a team so that we can remediate that convergence insufficiency problem. Phase 2 is a more hands-on kind of a component where we're using things like lots of tools like lenses that help you to learn how to focus, lenses that help you to learn how to line your eyes up, even a thing called a Brock string, which looks like a big long string with beads on it like this, an aperture ruler, Brunelloscope. All kinds of tools can be utilized to actually help train you how to not have that convergence insufficiency problem anymore. And I'll tell you this, my second year as a doctor, I had my dad as a guinea pig, and I think it was my first year actually. No, it was my second year. He was a guinea pig in my practice, and I say guinea pig because I was like, Dad, come on, I'm not going to charge you for it, but let's fix your eyes. Let's do vision therapy. Now, at the time, I didn't even have the tool that is probably the most powerful tool, which is these syntonics classes. But we worked on my dad's convergence insufficiency. We remediated it. And what was really awesome, huge payback for me, being able to see my dad read and enjoy his reading and enjoy his war stories and enjoy sitting for hours on end. And when he used to fall asleep reading, he got to the point, and he still is at the point, where he'll read for hours on end. So, didn't expect to get a little weepy. But if you're an adult and you go sleepy, it might be time to correct that. Give us a call at 618. Okay, Jules, we gotta get it together. 288-1489 if you're local, or you can go to our website at visionforlifeworks.com, and you can fill out a questionnaire if you just want more information, or hold it together, Julie. Or what you can do is you can actually schedule a consultation time with me. Now, if you like the video, even with all of my falling apart and crying, which I don't think I've ever done before on video, but if you like the video, hit the like button, pass it on if you know that this could be beneficial to someone. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. You don't want to miss any of our videos. You never know, I might get weepy and cry again. All right, thanks.